Hey everyone. So we have a really crazy one to go over today, and the extensive history of craziness here, the lore behind this man's actions and eventual downfall is not going to disappoint. So strap in, this is a wild one. Our story begins on the fateful evening of June 10th, 2022, at the Town Center 6 movie theater in Naples, Florida. Police were summoned to the location following distressed calls from multiple theater employees and bystanders who claimed that a teenage boy had just been choke-slammed to the ground by a grown man, following an altercation in the theater lobby. Only when sheriff's deputies arrived on the scene, the mysterious assailant had already left, leaving police to take a report from the boy who had been assaulted. Identified only by his initials for obvious reasons, the 15-year-old explained that the man who attacked him had accused him of bumping into one of the man's children, who accompanied him along with what the boy assumed was his wife. He said the man followed him into the lobby from the theater and confronted him, threatening to, quote, "put a foot up my ass." This is the camera footage we're looking at right now from the event. I apologize for blurring this, but couldn't be helped. And you'll see the woman he's with in the pink shirt here go to scold the 15-year-old after he's been choke-slammed. She's mad at him, not the guy that she's with. And then she takes one of the kids and walks off while the adults in the room try to separate these two, but he's not ready to give up. And you'll see our antagonist go back for seconds here to get back up in this kid's face. So that was obviously pretty clear cut, right? This man is red-handed, dead to rights on camera here. And that meant the Naples Police Department took this rather seriously. In a police report we have right here, the man was identified almost immediately by his ex-wife, Kristen, as 41-year-old Carl W. Pukin. Or Puckin. We're going to go with Pukin. And about a week after the incident occurred, on June 17th, police got in contact with the woman who had accompanied Carl to the Town Center 6 movie theater that day, a woman named Morgan Esposito. And according to Morgan's statement to the police, she had advised Carl that the young man had bumped into her daughter. So the kid wasn't even his, right, that he was freaking out about, and that her daughter had fallen down because of this ostensible carelessness on behalf of the 15-year-old boy, throwing Carl into an angry frenzy as he pursued the boy into the theater lobby. At this point, police had established witness statements as well as video evidence of the crime, and they concluded this police report by saying that they had established probable cause for battery. On June 19th, so we're now 9 days out from the incident at the theater, the Naples Police Department arrested Carl Pukin on battery charges. A Facebook post from the Collier County Sheriff's Office said, "Keeping children safe is my #1 priority," said Sheriff Kevin Rambosk. "I am committed to ensuring anyone who commits an act of violence against a child in Collier County is brought to justice." Deputies arrested 41-year-old Carl W. Pukin of Naples over the weekend on charges he battered a 15-year-old boy at the Town Center 6 movie theater on June 10th. And one other insane thing I noticed about this incident, it appears that while Carl was attacking this young man, he was also simultaneously holding an infant in his other arm. So this guy has some serious issues and faced charges for this incident, right? But guys, this is just the beginning. You see, it came to light as Carl was being investigated for the theater incident that he was also being investigated by Naples PD for an incident that occurred just 3 days after the chokeslam at the theater. Carl's reign of terror had only just begun, as it turns out, that fateful day at the theater, and I'll take you now to a Facebook post from a woman named Sonia on June 14th, 2022. The post begins, "Well, this happened yesterday. I was so distraught that I couldn't post about it. We went to Baker Park for a celebratory kid's birthday, and it turned out to be a nightmare." She included footage from the park birthday celebration that featured a man screaming, raging, being outrageously condescending, and saying some pretty awful things in a children's playground area in broad daylight. The man featured in this footage is, you guessed it, Carl Pukin.
I need to give my child
You need to get out of my space
I will break
right
your
now.
jaw.
I dare you.
Get the camera out. Get the camera out. It's recording. Thank you.
Great.
You're recorded.
That's
And this
great.
is going to be aired. And
So
we'll see
stay
if you
away
have a
from-
job tomorrow.
That's great. Stay
We'll
with
see
my
if you have a
child.
job tomorrow.
Yes, I will have a job.
We'll see. This is going to get aired.
That's great.
You do not come in a woman's face and threaten to break her jaw. You do not threaten to break my jaw.
Listen, if
You
my
do
child
not
gets hurt-
threaten to break my jaw. Get out of her face. Do you understand?
And you can see he goes into a condescending little hands on the knees lean here as though talking to a small child.
Because I have my mace. And they can go really, really bad. Let's call the police right now because you threatened me on camera.
Yes.
Yes, you did. Call the police.
If my child gets hurt,
Let's call the police.
I am not going to go directly.
Let's call the
to
police.
What are you doing?
Call them right now because you're not going to threaten me.
Let's go. Come on.
Siri, call my love. You are not going to threaten me. How dare you? You don't come in my face either. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you
think
are?
somebody else said-
Call Ruth. Call Ruth, our attorney. My attorney is on the way. Is he joking? He came in my face. Is he joking?
What happened? Call Vilas.
Don't cry, Naya. He's over here. Oh, he has a nerve to come in my face.
Okay, you really gotta stop saying it like that.
Don't cry. Did you get it all?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
There's a guy, a huge guy who just came in my face. I need to call Ruth. He told me he's gonna break my jaw. I need to call Ruth. And we have it all on camera, and we're gonna put this on YouTube. We're gonna put this on
That's great.
Facebook.
I don't
We're
care.
gonna put this
I don't care
everywhere.
about
You
how
do not
entitled you are.
deserve.
Yes,
No,
you do.
Get out of my face.
Ma'am. I
Get
didn't
out
call
of
you
my
ma'am.
face.
Animal.
What
You need to take care of your
Get out of
child.
my face.
You're the only animal
Darren, get out of my face. He did
Darren.
call the police. Yeah, Darren.
Yeah, I did call the police.
Yeah, Karen.
Oh, Karen. That's who you are. You are not going to talk to my nephew like that.
You don't care who your nephew
And
is.
I don't care who your son is.
It wasn't even about my son. It was about her
I
son.
don't. Well, she should have came to me.
You know
not
what?
you. She's a woman
It's
to
people
woman.
like
not
you.
you.
No,
it's people like
not
you.
you. You
Okay.
came in my face and you threatened to break my jaw. You're a man. I'm a woman.
You're not a woman.
Oh, and you think you're a man?
No,
Come
you're
in a
not.
woman's face?
You want me to come in your face?
Oh,
Nah, could have seen that one coming.
I have my mace. I dare you. I'm waiting. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. I have it on my finger. I dare you. You see
Listen,
that
this
part?
all would have been
He came in my
solved
face.
if you just
It's not
would have
even his
respected when I
son.
said, please watch your child from knocking
No,
over.
I said give me
Ma'am?
6 feet.
Ma'am?
You came in my face.
Because I said,
No, not because you don't go in
Listen,
a woman's
you're
face. And so are you.
No.
So are you.
Listen to us.
You never
Listen,
go in a woman's
all
face.
I care about is the kids'
I don't
safety.
care about
That's
what
it.
you said. You do
We
not
have a
come in my
toddler.
face.
It's not even my
You
kid.
do not come in my face.
I don't know how many guys came in your face, okay?
No. You can't call her trash, though.
You came in my face.
That's not what you're gonna do, sir. You're not gonna have that.
Okay.
And you have your own kids. Like, you can't call people trash
In front of your kids. And you call me classless? Look at you.
It's not gonna work. And if you're gonna
Because you
call,
want me to go to you when your kid says
I would
something
never
wrong,
go
or
into
your
someone's
nephew,
face.
I stopped him before something happened.
I understand.
All we
Okay.
said was,
All I said was,
Ma'am, I am
what's
not
the
talking to you
problem?
anymore. I'm talking to him.
I don't care. I can do what I
know
want
you
to do.
don't. Because you don't have any class.
And neither do you in front of your daughter talking to another woman like that.
You're not a woman, okay?
And you're not a man. And you are not a man.
What?
You are not a man.
okay.
It's all recorded. It's all recorded.
But listen, look how you're talking to her. You're telling her she's not a woman. She might be a. But then you're trying to have a serious conversation. That's,
He's a
you.
joke.
With you.
no,
I don't wanna,
that's my cousin. That's,
He's a joke.
everybody's your
Where's
cousin.
Bruce?
I don't care. But you're not gonna talk to my cousin like that.
That's
Then they're gonna
fine.
have a conversation with me.
I'm just trying to prove my point. I only care
You
about
can't
the kids'
prove it.
safety.
You're not proving a point.
Okay, let's go.
If you cared about the kid's safety,
Police
you wouldn't
officer.
even talk like
Right
that.
here.
You wouldn't even talk like that. That's just
And that's exactly. And now you see exactly how he came to me.
Yeah, like that's
He came and
I
stepped to
see
me in my
No,
face.
it's not working. And if you're gonna call the cops, at least stick around for your police.
Cops are here already.
All right, we'll have the camera. You're on camera, so you're
That's
not gonna.
fine. I don't care.
Yeah,
I
we'll
just care about the
see.
kids'
Mama,
safety.
did you
have an
follow?
I don't care
on
about the kids'
ABC
safety.
News
We
tomorrow.
fine. Let's go.
We'll see if you have an apology on ABC News tomorrow.
I don't care. You're not
We'll
going to do
see.
anything to me.
We
You
will
can't
see.
touch me. I work for myself.
We will see. And and 0 reviews on Google. We will see.
That's great.
You guys want to talk to me? You guys
Come on.
want to talk to me separate?
Put your shoes on.
Put your shoes on.
Please put your shoes on, Chris.
Keep recording him.
So, yeah. This guy has some serious issues, right? And in her lengthy Facebook post about the incident, she explains that she and her sister were setting up chairs and tables for the birthday party event while their kids went and played. Not 30 seconds later, the children returned to report to Sonia that a man on the playground area had been mean to them and had been asking one of the children, referred to as VJ, what his age, height, and weight were, and had apparently told him he, quote, needed to learn physics. Essentially insinuating VJ was too old for the playground and shouldn't be there. And worth noting here, Sonia snapped a photo of the play area sign that said the structures were for ages 5 to 12, a range which all of the involved children, being 7, 10, and VJ, who was 12 here, were within. So she and her sister head over to see what's going on, and Carl is waiting there to greet them. When they ask him if everything is okay, he apparently replied with, "We'll see," which is ominous, before launching into a loud tirade saying, "Tell your son to watch what he's doing. He almost hit someone's kid going down the slide." She also points out that the kid he was worried about, apparently a kid who was playing right at the bottom of the slide, was about 18 months old. Ostensibly the same infant he was holding in his left, I guess 18 months isn't really an infant, the same small child that he was holding in his left arm when he attacked the young man at the theater. Now again, this park is for ages 5 to 12, so after dramatically making a big show out of calling out a child who was actually within the proper age for the park, it's revealed that his own children he was looking after, not literally his child, but his new wife's, were far outside that age range and breaking the rules themselves. Apparently, this is when the woman and her sister advised him to speak with the parents, them, not the children, if he had concerns, which was the starting point, the catalyst, if you will, of the absolutely bonkers videos that we just watched. So the police are obviously called about this whole thing, and when they show up, Carl Pukin offers the police what Sonia says is a false, dramatic story about how, quote, 20 African Americans came after me, and that 6 teenagers were harming kids, referring to these 3 children who, again, were not even 13 yet. So while he's angry at this child for not understanding physics, he apparently can't do basic math at 41 years old. So luckily they got this all on tape, because apparently officers were hesitant to just believe this family's story, but after seeing the footage were more receptive. Now, threatening someone directly doesn't fall within the bounds of our First Amendment rights, right? You can't just go up to someone and tell them, I'm gonna break your jaw, right? You can't do that. So because his threat was direct and overt, not to mention caught on camera, this became a police investigation as well. So this guy is obviously a real piece of work here. An absolute hothead, a giant hypocrite, worried about children's safety as he choke slams a 15-year-old, a child, to the floor with an 18-month in his left arm, and then allowing that same 18-month-old to play on a playground for 5 to 12-year-olds at the bottom of a slide for some reason. Oh, and not to mention, he said some stuff during this incident that could definitely be reasonably interpreted as racist. So he's also racist. And it didn't take long after this video went viral for comments to start pouring in about this guy. You may recall how he basically said he was untouchable because he works for himself, right? Well, it took people in the comments about 5 seconds flat to find his business, an LLC based out of Estero, Florida, called Revolving Line. And while looking into this business, I noticed 2 things that I found very interesting. First, the business was started in 2011 and existed for 12 years and 6 months before becoming inactive, according to business records, which would mean he dissolved this business, if my math is right, after the incident occurred. So they got him. But even worse than that, this guy actually listed his own home address on Marsh Landing Boulevard as his business address, so his personal address was also easily discoverable through his business records. And lo and behold, when I searched this exact address, it brought up a Zillow listing for a home that, get this, was listed for sale in September of 2022, just a couple months after this incident. But it had a very hard time selling, it looks like, and it took a year's worth of price cuts to get it sold from its listing price of $850 all the way down to $615, what it sold for. So I'm only saying all this with the address stuff because he does not live here anymore, but the whole listed his house for sale at this exact time, very interesting, right? So 18 months of price cuts, $615 listed for $850. That is brutal. One other notable comment from the sisters' Facebook post was this one. A Facebook user named Daisy left a comment that said, "This guy assaulted my brother-in-law in the movie theater on 6/10/22." And remember that this was before any of this investigating had been done, because that wasn't until the 16th of June. And she posted this on the 14th, and this comment was left that same day. She said, "He's only 15 years old, and the man grabbed him by the throat and threw him to the ground with his child in his arm." She even provided us a video which shows the incident at the theater from a much clearer, closer perspective. Anyway, his employment and all that aside, Carl was now in the legal hot seat and facing real consequences for his actions, which, considering these incidents happened, 3 days apart, I'm guessing he either has been doing stuff like this for a while and never been caught, or something went really badly in his life and made him like this more suddenly. Maybe it was the divorce with his wife. I think her name was Karen. And on June 21st, Sonia returned to Facebook to update everyone, saying, "The arrest warrant has been signed, this time for our case. I would like to once again thank everyone for your support. I didn't realize how big my village is, and I'm so grateful to every one of you who helped spread the word and helped get my family justice. I would also like to thank everyone, people I know and people I don't, who reached out to me personally. It really means a lot. This is what happens when we all come together, Black, white, Latino, Asian, etc., for the greater good. Thank you. Don't mess with our kids." And we certainly wish the best for Sonia and her beautiful family. I hope her kid's horrible 10th birthday experience hasn't ruined Parks for her. And that was the last update on the incident from them. They have moved forward with their lives, hopefully, and left this pompous buffoon in the rear view. But we haven't, and neither has the law. His first court appearance happened just a few days later, on June 26th, and we find out he's being held on a $1,500 bond. Then, on July 15th, when he was due to appear in court, his attorney had the audacity to enter a not guilty plea in the case with the boy at the movie theater. Then, on August 29th, Pukin pleaded no contest to the movie theater charges. However, he then proceeded to violate his probation, according to court records, and the case against him was reopened in February of last year. As far as his case with the family at the park, as far as I can tell, it's still ongoing, but he was ordered to stay away from the family. And guys, this goes back to a common problem with so many of these little goblins we cover here on this channel, because these people are complete menaces to society over and over again, and then the legal system is outrageously soft on them. This guy even had, according to this local publication, a third case against him. This one for, perhaps unsurprisingly, unfortunately, sadly, domestic violence. So I just don't get it, how these people break so many laws, are just obvious menaces to society, right? And they get these slap on the wrist, like he was on probation. You choke slammed a minor, a child, on camera, and you somehow got probation. And then he violated the probation, but still hasn't been, at least from what I can see from public records I have access to, given any jail time. If I was that kid's parents, I would be furious. Now, hopefully the trials are just still ongoing and will end in a more severe punishment when they wrap up, because as we know, cases like these take a really, really long time to work through the system. One opened and the other reopened early last year, but we'll keep an eye out for anything new. Okay, that about does it for this absolute piece of work. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll see you around.